So I just put so much mental energy on, I'll give an example actually. I started learning about circadian rhythm and how that's actually the key to having a healthy functioning body, and a lot of it has to do with light, your light exposure, whether it be sun gazing, getting natural light, or also blocking artificial light. Learning about EMF, like non-native EMF, meaning the electromagnetic frequencies that are emitted from like Wi-Fi routers and stuff, because now we're learning that that's really bad for us, and it's good to know all that stuff, but me, being me, got super obsessed, and since I had no mission to distract me, I was fixated on it, and that is actually was a big driver towards like my mental health breakdown and going like crazy, because I was like, oh my god, the lights! There's lights everywhere, I need blue, oh my god, there's 5G towers, I'm getting blasted, and it was just like, I was like constantly under threat from my environment, and it just learning like that in and of itself, even though I was like knowledgeable on like how the human body works and how it should work and how to dial in circadian rhythm, and that mitigating these certain things is important in learning how to do it, how I handled it was very unhealthy. It was obsessed. I would get pissed off if someone turned the light on. I'd be like, how dare you turn the fucking light on in my house? And people would look at me and I'd be having my blue blocking glasses on.
Your sympathetic gets activated just from a light turned on.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
When we're going backwards.
And that in and of itself was like mental health issues.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is because I didn't have the mission, I was fixated and so focused and obsessed with all this other stuff that fed the fire of my poor mental health. And now that I have this mission, I have all this knowledge, and circadian rhythm is super important, wearing blue blocking glasses at night, very important, sun gate, doing all that stuff. But if I am not doing that and there's lights on right now, I'm not having a meltdown. And that's the important thing, and I think it's because I know that I'm on the right path and on the right mission, so I'm like, that light isn't gonna kill me, because I still have stuff to do here. Like, okay, I'll put on blue blocking glasses when I can, but if I'm going out for dinner, I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck, there's a Wi-Fi router right there, fuck! You can't do that. And there's ways to mitigate, like we go in the ocean and stuff, but yeah. The point I'm making is, without having the mission, which is we believe to be like a main ingredient towards a holistic, healthy, masculine person, and it could be feminine as well, but I'm just talking about the masculine energy right now. Having the mission is essential, because for me at least, I felt a lot more resilient when I felt like I was on the right path.
See, I got to see it from the outside perspective.
Yeah. I'm sure you have a lot to say about
and just so everyone knows,
my journey.
Again, this podcast, if I have a woman on, I want to try to get as much Shakti, feminine, divine femininity in here as possible and help you guys out. But when it's two masculine dudes, obviously we're going to be speaking from the perspective of the masculine. But just so everybody knows, we love our feminine women there. Everything good? Oh, did it have to restart? Oh yeah, first technical difficulty in the podcast, but we're good. But back to what I was saying. To the Shaktis out there, we love you so much. We just can't bring as much value and relation to you. But just know the world is not the same without you, and it would never be the same. So like the ocean, everything moving, like that's your feminine energy. The water of the world, and most of the world is water, 70%, right? So it's like there's so much feminine energy everywhere. And we're in a state of the world right now where they have tried to demonize masculinity and pretty much term everything masculine as toxic masculinity. Like there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's just being toxic. And you wouldn't call the same things. It's like toxic femininity. Like you say that, you just sound like a dumbass. Yeah. Like people look at you like, what are you talking about? But no, anything can be toxic. It's just how the world has like tried to feminize men lately. That's part of the mission of this podcast too. For the men out there, we are trying to bring back that divine masculine, not the douchey masculine. Again, as
No.
some people would say, the toxic masculine.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's just a toxic person
Yeah, it's just a toxic person.
with an
Exactly.
ego problem or trauma.
100%. Yeah.
Unhealed trauma.
There's just a little boy inside.
Yeah, the inner
that big
child.
manly body of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so you know, we're always trying to bring the divine masculine and feminine out of everyone, and that's like one of the goals of this podcast too. As I dove in deeper into Tantra and just the laws of the universe, the laws of polarity, I love it. I love it. And when I see people stepping into the divine masculine and feminine, that's when they, they make some moves, like they make some ripples in the world. The ripples turn to waves.
Fuck yeah.
Waves turn into something you can ride, and other people can ride as well, and it's a good life. Everyone loves surfing.
Speaking of feminine energy, I actually went to a woman's temazcal.
Yeah. Unknowingly, he showed up.
Unknowingly, but they were nice enough to let me in, and that was the fucking hardest temazcal I've ever been to.
He had to be Shiva and hold down the fort even though he wanted to leave. I would have done the same.
I wanted to leave right at the beginning, and the whole time I was like, I'm the only well, there was another guy there. Unbeknownst to me, I found out that after round 2, he ran out and was running out. I didn't know that, but I was telling myself from the beginning, like, you're a masculine man here. You need to maintain the Shiva energy and be stable and be calm. And I was not calm inside. I think I appeared calm on the outside, but after round 1, I was like, adios mio. I feel like I was in. I had to lie down like super quick, and like the woman who was running it was a badass, because so many people were asking to leave, and the one we go to normally, they're cool with it. They just say like, don't leave during the one of the 4 doors because it's dark. You can fall in the pit. But even when the doors were open, they would ask like, "Oh, permisio to leave," and she would say no. And I remember being like, "Holy fuck, this is intense," and it got me more frightened. And I kind of liked it. Yeah, just speaking of feminine energy, like that women's circle in the temazcal. For those of you that don't know what temazcal is, it's a Mexican sweat lodge, and it's way gnarlier than any sauna you'll be in, and you sweat the demons out. There a lot of stuff happens. A lot of stuff happens in temazcal. You can have breakdowns, hallucinate. You can pee yourself.
I've had a couple panic attacks.
You can puke. I've had several panic attacks in there.
But that's when you learn how to breathe through that stuff. You can do that in temazcal. Oh, dude, you can do it anywhere else.
Oh yeah, you feel like a warrior.
That actually brings me into, is that what you wanted to add about temazcal? Because I think it's awesome. I think you're going to get into the Shakti energy being there. It was like intense. We've heard that from a few different women.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm very comfortable around feminine energy. I actually prefer it, and I believe it's because like I have 2 older sisters and then my mom, so I have a lot of feminine energy in the household, and I just enjoy, like, we have our top women. I love being around them, so I felt very welcomed there. And